I'm just. Let's see. All right, you are live. Hold on. Before we start the officially start, let me just put this link in here. Current analytics, channel analytics.
Channel analytics.
I was just looking at YouTube. Oh God, I hate and Instagrams. Nikki, what are you doing? We're live, you know that?
We're live, man.
I apologize for Nikki's frustrations. He's frustrated with Instagram, which can be frustrating.
It can be.
We'll start in just a moment officially, but for the unofficial start. Sorry, Nikon?
I said that's why we prefer YouTube.
Yeah, that's true. I do prefer YouTube.
Which is why we're on.
Okay. All right, ready, guys?
Oh, we've been ready.
Wait, Nikki, did you post that in our Max and Nikki story?
The question is,
I did, and
Instagram ready.
Okay, right. Let's do it. Welcome back to another edition of Splitting Hairs with Max, Nikki, and Nikon. As usual, I'm Max. I'm Nikki.
I'm Nikon, and
together we're Max, Nikki, and Nikon.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get.
It's funny. You started it. You went. I'm Nikon, and together. Right. I wasn't even
prepared
for that part. I didn't even see "and." It might be the first time in Splitting Hairs history that I didn't say "and" with everybody.
Oh wow!
Actually, that's not true. In the beginning, Nikki and I used to not, I think, say it together. I think the very beginning.
It would just be one of you saying it, or you would just miss. You would just.
I'm Max. I'm Nikki, and together we're. I think one of us would just start out saying it. Together we're Max and Nikki. I think. Anywho, well, if you want to listen to the original episodes, you can on any of, where you're listening to any place where you listen to podcasts.
Man, you're not explaining that well.
In any of where you listen to podcasts. That's how you correctly say it. In any of where you listen to podcasts.
Oh, it's so funny.
That's crystal clear to me.
We posted a clip from a past episode, the one that we did on sports spectatorship. And the clip is of you basically saying it's a waste of human resources and time. And there were like a lot of comments on there saying this podcast is a waste of time.
That's good.
Or something like that. And in my mind, I'm like, well, then why are you watching it?
But it's also like you feel like
why'd you feel even
you felt necessary to comment on this? So
that's pretty funny.
I guess you have a lot of time.
But there were a couple people that were saying he's right or
absolutely right.
They're both right. Sports and this podcast are a waste of time.
Hey.
I don't think so.
Hey, I don't either.
But anyway,
that is about sports. No, I'm just.
Hey guys, can you hear me right now?
Yes.
What about? Can you hear me now?
Nick, you can't relive the magic of before this.
Okay.
We had a little bit
I
going.
didn't get to be involved with the bit because you guys were doing it while I was.
We had a little bit going before the podcast started. But
yeah, you should have been there. Should have been there.
The magic. But spontaneous moments are just that. They're spontaneous.
Indeed.
Spontaneous moments are just that. To create the universe, you first must bake an apple pie.
Hey, any updates on the band name?
Yeah, we're going with Silhouette City for sure.
Love it.
But out of curiosity, what do you think of this as a band name? Plastic Palace People.
Plastic Palace People. It's a little too clever.
It's a little twee.
It's a little twee.
What if it was just Palace? What if it was just Palace People?
Palace People? I like Plastic Palace better than Palace People.
Oh, Plastic Palace. That's interesting too.
Plastic Palace.
It's like Silhouette City.
Yeah, but it
Plastic
sounds a
Palace.
little
Plastic Palace.
Plastic Phallus. It sounds like it could be.
Palace. That's actually.
That's
I don't
a
know.
punk
Is
band.
that
That's a punk band.
That is a Plastic Phallus. Is a punk name.
Oh man, Plastic Phallus is a really good name
For a punk band.
for a punk band.
But Plastic Palace is a good name for a non-punk band. Understanding that people can make fun of you as Plastic Phallus, but that means you've made it. If people are like making fun of you and calling you Plastic
That's
Phallus.
true. That'd be
But I
kinda
do
cool.
think Silhouette City is. There's something a little bit
No, dude, Silhouette City.
grander about it, or something that is
Yeah.
more encompassing.
We also have this kind of
I think you're right.
album cover, this photo that we have, and it fits that better. I think.
Anyway, the new EP is going to be released on Tuesday, August 15th.
What?
But the first
Oh, yeah.
single
Mm.
will be released on August 1st, Tuesday, August 1st.
Where can the people find it?
Anywhere
Anywhere you listen to music.
Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon Music, YouTube,
Google Play.
SoundCloud, Bandcamp.
Google Play
Google
Of course.
Play is not a thing anymore.
or Google.
That's part of
Isn't it Google Play or things?
No, that's
Google Music. Google Music.
Google Music, yes.
Okay, Google. Music.
Deezer.
Deezer is still around. Wow.
Yeah, I first heard about Deezer when I was studying abroad in France, and my homestay dad, father, he was like,
He's like,
He was-
just
well,
gonna
he
say
was like-
Deezer.
no, he didn't say
je
this,
sais
he
pas,
said-
Deezer.
Deezer is the
tu
future.
connais Deezer? And I'm like,
Trying to be hip.
I actually had never heard of it. I'm like, no, and he was showing me.
He was showing you
Don't
his
forget,
Deezer.
also
huh?
on Sound,
He was showing me his Deezer.
he was showing you his Plastic Phallus. Actually.
Yes.
Oh,
Just kidding.
there you go. That's a good call. That's what you call in the business. That's what you call a callback
Okay.
in the comedy. business.
Also, you can listen on SoundCloud, and also don't forget Bandcamp for those of you that are in the know.
If Max, if you had been paying attention, I did mention SoundCloud and Bandcamp already.
I heard.
I'm getting used to this delay effect in my headphones because.
Ooh, Cammy is here, but definitely messed up from dental surgery.
Oh, I'm
Doesn't
sorry,
do
Cammy.
Ooh, okay, wow.
Oh, yikes!
We'll find out about that later. Anyway, in the meantime,
Just a heads up, guys. If you're watching this on the live stream or later on the video version of this podcast, my hair's a little messed up right now. I got this little kind of thing going on there. Anyway, just a heads up.
Just
oh,
a
well, if
heads
we're talking about that, in that case, Max and I are unshaven. Just giving you.
Yikes!
How many episodes
Yikes.
have we done where I say that?
Embarrassing.
though?
I don't know.
Well, one, I think, but
I've heard a couple. Anyway,
no, not for me though. I haven't said it.
Oh,
no, you have.
messed up.
You
from-
have yet to apologize for your appearance, and frankly, thank you for apologizing. Because we were all thinking it.
How you doing, Nikon?
It's hot. I don't like it. It's too hot.
Yeah, it is.
It's hot. I wish I went outside today. I didn't, unfortunately, because there's some good
Nah,
sun
you're-
rays going.
You're missing nothing. You're missing nothing. Although I guess it's good for you to be
No,
outside a
You
little
need
bit.
to get the
in sun.
vitamin D. You know.
But it's too hot. I'll say it again.
Hot,
Do you not have an air conditioner?
I do, but it's too hot. It's still too
Air
hot.
conditioner. Seinfeld reference.
I don't remember that.
Air conditioner falls out of Jerry's window.
Oh.
Anyway, hey, I wanted to mention something real quick because the day after the last episode we recorded was the 4th of July, and we went to a barbecue, and later in the night we got into a debate with a guy. It was basically everybody versus this one guy that didn't like the Beatles, and we were all trying to convince him, persuade him. He's like, "Hey, I'm open to it. Try to convince me." And we kept taking different. He's just like, "I can't help feel like they're just too corny for me." And we're like, "Corny? What are you talking about?" And so we were all trying to pick different songs that seem more heavy or rockin'. to make it seem like, okay, there's no way he thinks this is corny, you know?
Right.
So in the end, the one song that got him sort of on board, I think, was She's So Heavy.
Okay.
I Want You, She's So Heavy.
Yeah.
But man, I don't know. There's a lot. Anyway, the thing was he said he related to, not that he's a big fan of Rolling Stones, but he related to quote unquote the rawness of the Rolling Stones more. And Max and I realized people say rawness like that's a trait to aspire to, but I think what they really mean is they just don't want the vocals to sound as good or polished. You know, like, what does it mean for the Beatles?
It's pure image. We're going back to the same, like, basically the same arguments. It's like, it's pure image. There's nothing raw about the Rolling Stones.
What is raw about the Rolling Stones aside from
just like a grimy, I think it's that, and their image. And look, we all openly do heroin or whatever it is.
Yeah, and their image. You're right.
Yeah,
because Paul McCartney, I was just listening to "Oh Darling" yesterday. I'm like, I mean, if you're talking about great, just I don't know, soaring vocals. No, he's
sure.
Nobody's more versatile. Anyway, I could go on forever on this.
We're all looking for something different, and this 4th of July guy.
It was fun.
It was a fun thing. He's a fun guy.
We ended up just having a dance party. But
how was
we were going to go see fireworks, but then this debate happened, and it kept us indoors, and it ended up being more fun.
We actually were like, we've seen fireworks many times in the past. We don't need it.
Yeah.
How was your 4th of July? Did you do anything?
Mine was not. It was probably the least notable 4th of July I've had, which is, it's fine. I don't know. Yeah. We didn't do anything this year.
I'll tell you something we did the day after the 4th of July is Max and I and a friend went to Shakespeare in the Park.
Oh, that's right.
We saw Hamlet, and gotta say, the actors were very good. I mean,
for the most part.
For the most part. And
that is, most of the actors were good.
If you're familiar with Hamlet, guys, the guy that played Polonius was so good. It seemed like he was just talking. It was almost like modern day talk, but he was saying these Shakespeare words. It was pretty cool. The guy who played Hamlet was really good too. If you live in New York, highly recommend going to Shakespeare in the Park this year, especially because the Delacorte Theater is going to close for a couple years due to construction, and so it won't be back until 2025.
Hold on, we're getting an echo effect. Cammy says, "Oh, I know why. Sorry, Cammy."
Oh. Good catch.
We should be okay now, I think.
All right.
Gemma Leslie. I had a substitute teach an animation workshop for an art camp yesterday. Lots of wild drama between 10-year-olds. Thought of you Weinbach substitutes. Yes, we've had a lot of substitute teaching experience.
Should we get into it? Let's get into
it. Station business, Max?
Station business.
Not sure if this is going to be released by the time our show happens, but Next Vintage Basement is this Sunday, July 16th.
It's this Sunday?
It is this Sunday.
Oh, dear. Okay.
July 16th at 7 p.m. at Young Ethels in Park Slope. Make sure to reserve your seats. It's free admission, but reserve your seats online. Go to maxandnicky.com. You'll find the appropriate links to reserve your seats if you happen to be in New York.
Okay.
Got
we
a
also
great
covered
lineup.
a little bit of the station business also in that our EP is, once again, being released on Tuesday, August 15th.
With the first single being released
on Tuesday, August 1st.
That's true. Nikon,
Amazing.
Business?
Nothing from me.
There's no business like station business.
The new jingle. I like it.
That's funny. That's good. Grammar Corner. Anybody got anything?
I got nothing. I had something. It'll come to me. It'll come to me next time.
I gotta say, this week I don't have anything.
That's okay.
That's
okay. Let's not force it. Let's not force it.
I will say the one thing. Max has
here we go
on my case about using the word essentially.
Well, I talked about this in the
few
past
days, but I just don't agree. I think it's fine to use the word essentially.
To use it ever, of course. It's what? Yeah, of course.
Max,
what?
I was using
Are
it
you
a couple times.
overusing
He's
it?
like, "You should not use that word," and I'm like, "Why not?"
No, okay. I've explained it on the podcast before.
I don't think we've heard this.
No, we have. It's just there's a certain look. You can use it. Of course, it's a word, you know.
Exactly.
But,
That's my argument.
but here, the problem I find is that people often use it to make themselves sound a little more elevated. Somehow,
I'm not using it to make myself sound elevated
because it's essentially about this.
I don't agree
know,
with you. I don't agree with you.
And what
Straight up don't
really
agree.
kind of was the tipping point for me on this was hearing Donald Trump use it actually, and I just said, I can't.
There's
do
a
it
lot.
anymore.
There's a lot of people who are essentially There's a lot of people
Yeah, but listen,
essentially.
Nikki using essentially is different than Donald Trump using essentially.
Oh, is it?
It's slightly different.
You know what's funny is during the quarantine, there was about a month and a half where I was eating a lot of sweet potato chips, and my skin was actually turning orange.
Was it really?
It was, and
Is this
at first
true?
I thought I was going out in the sun every day just to go outside, and I thought
Get that
I
vitamin
gotta
D.
getting a good tan. But then after a while,
Yeah.
Max is like, I don't think that's a tan. That you look orange. And
Because
so,
I was like, look at your feet.
they look orange, right? And so I was like, oh, must. So, just so you know, guys, it's that beta carotene, which is famously found in carrots.
Yep.
But also found in spinach and dark leafy greens.
Oh, and spinach too, huh?
Is that why carrots are called carrots? Because of beta carotene?
It's got to be. It's got to
maybe it is.
What are you talking about? Of course.
Oh, that's probably it is.
One
That's
of them
probably
comes from the other. I mean, I don't know if.
Maybe
I don't know if
I think beta
carrots
carotene probably
came-
comes from carrots, maybe.
Yeah, I think so because.
Probably
But
carrots.
yeah, sweet potatoes as well.
There you
Real
go.
quick, Tammy asked where would she buy the EP? Well, you can buy it when it's released. You can buy it on iTunes, Bandcamp. Those are I would recommend buying it on Bandcamp though, because we would see more of the profit from that than.
Oh, there you go.
Although on iTunes or Apple Music, you could write a review on it. That'd be cool if you
That's
liked
good
it.
too.
But you can stream it wherever you stream music.
And then Cammie also,
Tammy's getting a lot of mentions today.
we won't be releasing a physical. There won't be a physical release of the album because
Just a digital release this time.
unless it were worth it for us to do that. But right now, digitally is the way to go.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, so Max and I came up with a good debate topic.
I'll
hold
see
on.
about that. I'll see about that.
Oh, Max, did you want to mention something real quick?
Well, we also have that other idea. But anyway, go ahead, Nikki.
What's
So
the other
the idea is,
Well, I want to hear the other idea now.
are dreams worth talking about?
What's the other idea?
No, the one that you came up with before about
Oh, before, yeah.
what's the
that's
best
on
way to
list.
die.
Sure, yeah, that's on the list. We can come back to that because I think we did a deathy. We've done deathy topics. We'll get
We
back to
have.
it. Yeah.
Are
it's on the
dreams
list.
worth talking about? Do you think that's a good topic?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Which one?
I didn't hear an overwhelming I love it.
I don't love any of the ideas until we get into them.
Oh, that's really disconcerting. Gosh.
Why? No, it's like whatever. Why fall in love with something until you get through? You get
I
into
think
it,
it's a
and you-
great idea.
It's
When
like
I first
dating.
thought of it,
I'm
I
not
was
gonna
like,
just.
I love that as a debate topic.
Well, Nikki's more.
I think it's a perfectly okay debate topic. Because here's the thing.
One of these I'm going to get you.
Because listen, it's and this is just my disposition. I think our dreams worth talking about to the extent that anything is worth talking about. I don't know. Is anything worth talking about?
Yes.
Is it? I don't know.
Where are we going to eat dinner for tonight if we're going out?
That's
we're
not
talking about.
talking
Otherwise, we won't settle on
I'll
something.
get you, Nikon. I'll get you.
Or you can not talk about it and just be like, all right, Max, decide where we're going to dinner. Just decide. I don't want to hear about your thought process. I just want to hear what your decision is.
But then you better not be annoyed with my decision in the end,
I'm not,
because you're telling me.
Of course not. Listen,
a little mini debate here.
Are you telling me then?
If I were to say, Max, you decide where we go to dinner, and you say something that I hate, then I will.
Okay.
Maybe think twice before telling you to choose a place next time.
Okay, but then there was a small discussion at least, in that you told me you told me decide where we were going to eat. It's up to you. So that was worth saying. That was worth mentioning.
Yeah, but do you classify that as talking about it? We are splitting hairs.
Anyway,
why don't you give me something to talk about? How does it go?
Why don't you give me something?
Let's give them something to
talk about. That's what it is.
Who sings
Any
that?
Shania Twain fans?
Is that Shania Twain? No.
That's going to be our new theme music.
That's Shania Twain, right?
Give them something to talk about. Bonnie Raitt.
Bonnie Raitt. Ooh, man, I'm cutting that out of the episode.
I know you are not. No, you're not.
Bonnie
you gotta
Raitt.
keep that. You gotta keep that.
I didn't really know much about her before, but
Total Eclipse
she's
of the
pretty
Heart.
good.
I
I listened.
by the way, this topic I got because we were watching our older brother and sister's their live stream show the other day, and Brent was talking about a dream, and Max and I were like, "Oh my god, this is going on
Snooze.
way too." I'm like,
Snooze.
when is it interesting to hear a dream to be talked about? And I have the answer for that, and I'll talk about that when we get into
This break.
After these messages,
we'll
be right back.
And for the record, I'm perfectly okay with doing this topic.
I'll get you, Nikon. I'll get you.
Crap. The impervious to laughter
I'm
villain.
impervious to laughter.
One of these days,
Shit.
Mr. Unlaughable, I'll get you one of these days, Mr. Unlaughable, I tell you. And then you're supposed to go,
I'm impervious to laughter.
Damn it.
Oh, crap. Damn it.
All right. Should we flip tapes?
Let's flip
Or
tapes.
who's going to do
God.
what?
When you said flip tapes, I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I love that as what would you say? Not a euphemism, but just an alternative way of saying what we got to do. I love it. That's a great idea.
Is that the term? Flip tapes? Flip tape? Should we flip the tape?
Yeah, we should flip
switch
tapes,
sides.
Yeah.
Switch
Oh,
the
yeah,
side.
you flip the tape. Yeah.
Flip the tape. Let's flip the
the
tape.
record too.
Flip the record.
Flip the
Maybe
script.
record.
Flip the script.
No, that's not.
That's different. What is flipping the script though? Like, what is that?
You changed it. You changed the
It's basically like
You change the circumstances.
no. It's
in-
basically
but
like
a different way.
But like, what is it? What's the root of? What is the
okay,
root
if
of
you're
that?
flipping a
I mean,
script, it's
like, I know
kind
what
of
it
like
means. But like,
if you are the one who's antagonized.
Oh,
when you flip the
then
script, you
so now
become the
you're the
antagonizer.
Or
so
somebody
like,
that has the advantage in something, and you flip the script, and it's like, no, now I have the advantage.
I think it comes
so
from the
basically,
idea
you're
of protagonism.
flipping roles. You're flipping roles.
Something like that.
Like now you read. Now you're Lex Luthor and I'm Superman.
Now you're the
Now you're the weak link. You're the prey, and I'm the dominant.
no. Now you're the
But how's
guy
the
who's
script?
trying to get me laughing. I'm Mr. Unlaughable, impervious to laughter, and then we switch. the
Right.
roles.
I don't think that's right.
Let me
Because
look
you
at
don't
that.
flip a script to do that. You don't flip the script around.
No,
You say
I think you're taking it to
no. It's got to have a root in something that's like so. Like it has to be. I mean, in most of these cases, it's something that's very. It
By the way,
comes from like
speaking
a
of flipping
practical.
things, do you guys
Well,
remember?
yeah, it is to reverse a situation.
No, I know. I know,
Especially by doing something unexpected.
Where's it derived from?
yeah.
Like, what's the
like? What is the original?
By the way, man, there's so many expressions that originated from Hamlet. It's kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, let's
You're
hear
like,
a couple.
oh my god, that's from that.
Turn the tables is another.
There's a method to his madness. That's from Hamlet.
No way, that's cool.
Yeah.
There's also but there's the rub.
There's the rub.
Oh,
There's
see,
also
there's the rub is from that. That's cool.
what's the
to be.
No,
not to be. That is the question.
no, not that. That's obviously not used except for that. What's that one?
Good night, sweet prince.
Well, there's good night.
And may flights of angels
I knew,
sweet
yeah.
sleep.
That's less commonly used.
The rest is silence. The rest is silence.
You've got to be cruel to be kind.
Oh, that's cool.
Is that from it?
Yeah.
Cruel to be kind.
To thine own self be true. So true to be true to yourself.
One more, and then we got to switch tapes.
There's, God, what was that last one, Max? That it's, Bobby had pointed out. It's so famous. God, I'm forgetting it. Oh boy, this is gonna get me.
Well,
Nikon,
maybe
for a
it'll
second,
come to you as we, Bobby De
you look
Niro,
like
Bobby De Niro.
one of the Baldwin brothers.
Oh,
Robert De Niro too. Yeah, sure.
sure.
A murder most foul.
Ah.
I don't think we got that.
No, but we
Lost
are here
you on the
Can't
what
see
have
on
you?
StreamYard.
I'm gonna switch audio.
Okay, so guys, right now we're switching over
Our Zoom session.
We're flipping the script.
We just use it incorrectly.
Yeah, we'll just use it incorrectly.
I'm gonna keep looking into this.
It's hard to find the derivation of that.
Yeah, I'm looking, and there's nothing.
Oh,
satisfying.
Max, you have to start a new meeting.
Flip this.
It won't let me do it.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
it just won't.
Yeah.
I hope you have enough space on there.
No. Well, maybe.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Let me just. Sorry, were you speaking at all, Nikon?
Who, me? No, I'm looking into the flip the script thing.
Sorry,
Your
folks.
Bonnie rating is pretty good. I like that play on words there.
What? That doesn't make sense.
Gemma Leslie, I'm
That's-
so guilty of talking with dreams too much, but I understand why people don't like it.
That
care about it.
doesn't. So one of these places is saying it originates from graffiti, which I just don't think that's right.
That's
I think
incorrect.
I think it predates graffiti culture.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Uh,
Yeah, but there's no origin, no satisfying origin. Okay, so according to the if you want to go with the
Yeah.
graffiti one,
He just sent the new script.
okay. Flip the script. You're getting back.
Fraser is so funny. Oh man, he already sent the new track, Max.
All right.
Fraser, he goes. I saw a lewd graffito in the bathroom, like he uses the singular, I bet you know all about that, Nikon.
Oh yes, paparazzo, graffito, panino.
Do you say panino when
Yes,
you order?
yes.
So
It's one panino.
do you not care about coming across as a bit?
No, I know. What I care about is correcting the idiocy of the people around me. If you're saying it incorrectly, excuse me for using a word correctly. No, not at all. Infuriating. Don't get me started.
Max, did you want to record?
Oh, okay.
Got it.
Recording in progress.
Got it. Okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay,
Recording in progress.
and we are back. Folks, one last expression from Shakespeare's Hamlet, and then we will move on to the. So, murder most foul. is from there,
most foul.
Wow.
And also, my lady doth protest too much.
Oh, really? Well, yeah, I knew that actually.
I mean, that's a famous.
when you see Shakespeare, I haven't seen Shakespeare in a very long time, to the point where I'm questioning whether I even have, but I think I have. But like,
if you haven't, you did not go to a good school.
I did not, but
Well, high school, I would say.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was fine.
I think it's required actually in most curriculum.
Well, yeah, I saw high school level Shakespeare, but that's not like my question I'm trying to get to.
To be or not to be. That is the question.
Shakespeare in the Park. Do they give you a printout of the text so you can read along?
No, but I recommend
so dense.
I recommend refamiliarizing yourself with the plot
with the
before
script.
you go.
It's too much.
That's what we
do.
do.
Too much homework.
No, it's not.
Just read the summary.
Read the summary from
Okay.
Wikipedia. But you know what? I will say this: the acting was so good
You didn't
that
need.
you didn't need it. You didn't need to.
You did.
You don't know that. You're saying
Read the
that as
summary
someone
beforehand.
who already read it, so you don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would.
I recommend reading a summary before.
The guy that played Polonius was so good, though, that especially with him, you would not need. It almost just seemed like he was improvising certain things because it seemed so natural. It seemed like
That's pretty cool.
But Nikon, I recommend you go because this will be the last year.
I know. We already said that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
As usual.
Oh.
So, guys, dreams.
Yeah, who's
Are
going
they
to take
worth
what
talking
position?
about?
I can moderate.
I would like to take the position, even though I often feel like maybe they're not worth talking about. I'll take the position that they are worth talking about.
I like it.
What dreams are made?
All right, let's hear it. Dreams. Are they worth talking about?
Oh, such is the stuff that dreams are made on. That's from The Tempest. Anyway. Speaking of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
A dream is a wish your heart makes.
Okay, Fraser.
Cinderella.
Niles.
Cinderella. Okay, Max. Max, you're going to take the opposition then.
Okay, that dreams are not worth talking about.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, here's why.
Wait, no. Wait. Who said you get to go first? The moderator has to choose.
I choose Max.
Oh, that is really.
Oh, dude.
That really is just. All right. Well, I get the last word.
It was funnier that way. We'll see about that. I get to decide who gets the last word
that
too.
would be the worst.
Who gets the last laugh?
There we go. Max, this is your
Okay.
time. You're eating into your time. So
Okay,
That's a part of the plan.
opening statement. I think dreams are not worth talking about because everyone has dreams. They're weird most of the time, and invariably people are going to start rambling on about it because dreams often go into directions that don't really make sense in our normal everyday lives.
what if?
And people start trying to recapture what they just dreamed, and they start to ramble, and there's a lot of ums, and I think this happened, and you're just like, oh my God, this is so boring. Let's just get out with it or just finish it, and let's not talk about it anymore. That's my opening statement.
I know
I'm
this is
sticking
an
to
opening
it.
statement, but I am already interested. This is very interesting.
Wait, I've got something to say.
Is there such a thing as, or would it be possible to develop the same way? Look, if you tell me about your day, there are people who will do the same exact thing. They'll give you every minute detail, it'll bore you to death, whatever. And there are certain people who will just pull like a very interesting detail out of their day and tell an entire story that's very captivating. Can the same thing be applied to reflecting on a person's dream? You don't have to share every single weird twist and turn detail, right? Question for the group. Just putting it out there because now it's Nikki's turn.
Why do you give him some fodder to?
Well, no.
You should.
Right, go ahead, Nikki.
Perhaps
Go
it'd be
ahead.
helpful to have a pen and notepad so you can take notes.
Yes, like in the debate.
Yeah.
So I want to say my opening statement. Yes, dreams are worth talking about because sometimes the person who is talking about the dream could be a potential significant other. So what if they had a dream about you? You would love to hear about what they had to say about that dream.
This is your opening argument.
This is a bad opening argument, dude. I wouldn't have
guarantee
gone this route.
How that would make? I could just imagine
The
a
terrible
girl.
opening
A girl.
argument.
If I had a crush on a girl, And
the later part.
I overheard her talking.
Yeah,
about
but
a
what
dream,
if
like,
she-
oh, I had a dream about Nikki. I'm like, wow, what happened in her dream? That would be so fascinating to me. But not only that, I will say sometimes yes, and I do believe that most of the time, if you kept it short, brevity is important. If you did
with any storytelling,
with any storytelling, but for example, the other night, I'll just say this: I dreamt I could finally dunk a basketball, and I think that's pretty funny. Just to even that small anecdote that I dreamt that I could dunk a basketball, and when I woke up, I realized, man, I want to play basketball and give it a shot. I'm going to try my best because there are people that are our height that can dunk. In fact, Spud Webb was our height, and he was able to dunk, and he won the slam dunk contest actually in the 80s.
That's wild. That is wild. But
That's
that's
weird Welsh stuff.
this is a very narrow opening argument. And hey, listen, no judgment here, but
I feel like if the person is an object of desire for you, or
An object of desire.
yeah. Or what about just let's take a step back from objects and desire. What about it? Just isn't it an interesting way to connect with people? Like it's just another way of generating a topic to talk about. You know, like, oh, okay, now I know something about Nicky. He has thought about basketball more than once in his life, and is interested in this idea of dunking. You know, and then from there you can talk about. It's an opposite.
You sounded like somebody who doesn't watch sports at all.
I'm just trying to boil it down to
in this idea of dunking.
I'm just trying to boil it down to like its essence, essentially. But you know what I'm saying. So,
what a moderator.
What a moderator. Yeah. Okay. So. I don't know.
All right.
Max response.
Counter argument.
Yeah.
Okay, now I feel like am I countering argument his specific thing that he was saying, or
no,
am I
whatever
argument?
comes, whatever you know. If he's
Okay, look, you're bringing up the idea that
First
okay,
rule of splitting hairs: there are no rules.
yeah.
Second rule: dues
No
are
splitting
dues
hairs.
are what dues are to be made at the first of the month. No, just kidding. Like there are rules actually. Anyway.
Okay, so Nikon, before Nikki's opening statement, Nikon had already put a sort of argument out there that what if it was just one small thing that they kind of expanded upon it in their dream? Well, then I would argue that they're not actually talking about their whole dream. So is the argument that they're talking about their whole dream or just even a small part of the dream?
No, the argument is our dream's worth talking about, period, right?
Okay.
That is.
Then I would have to, but you have to have there's some caveats there, actually. Our dreams we're talking about, maybe some aspect of the dream is worth talking about in that it can help you understand something that's going on in your everyday life that might be stressing you out, or maybe something that's just bothering you.
Or if it's just silly, like, oh, I had a dream last night that my feet were reversed, my feet were switched. Isn't that silly?
Yes, but you're not.
Okay.
You're giving me the elevator pitch of the dream. You're not talking about the dream itself.
Right. So you're saying
I'm talking about when somebody recant their recant.
all you're
what's the word?
about is people who
recant, not recant,
who are bad at talking about their dreams.
right?
No, but here's the thing. No.
You can be good at summarizing a movie or not.
I disagree. This is a different thing, is because your dreams are often hard to grasp the whole. It's hard to remember your whole dream, right?
Sure.
And so oftentimes, I would say most of the time when people are retelling what happened in their dream, they're still trying, unless they wrote it down beforehand.
Well,
after they dreamed
even
it.
if they did, I know where you're going. Even if they did, the logic of a dream isn't linear. It's like, and then I was in a phone booth.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's
whatever.
That's a different point. I'll get to that in a sec.
Sure.
The first point,
bad storytelling.
Bad storytelling
fundamentals
is kind of
you're already
of retelling a dream because
with the elements that go into it.
You're just trying to grasp what happened and you're trying to remember what happened. So you're not really being a good storyteller, because a good storyteller already has that in their mind about what has happened. You know.
What about? Okay, go for it.
Yeah. No, Max. Just real quick, if I were to argue and on Max's side, I would have gone with it like this. Just you shouldn't say the way you're saying it is incorrect. The way you should be saying it is, dreams are not real life. Storytelling that happens in real life is interesting because it happened in real life.
No.
That wasn't
Disagree
the
with
argument
that.
I was making.
Also, I think it was Robert McKee, and he's like a famous writer about writing. He's like, if you're telling an autobiographical story, it's completely uninteresting to be accurate about what actually happened.
Right.
You take elements from what happened, and then you form a story out of it.
Yes.
What happens in real life isn't directly translatable. Even in a documentary, you're not recounting every single thing that happened in a person's life and every day, because a lot of it is superfluous and uninteresting to the dramatic.
Yes, you're not going to explain every single step of the way, but it's not like you have to embellish, though, or
nobody said anything about embellish, but it's like,
stuff,
his shoes were green. Isn't it important that his shoes were green? No, it doesn't matter that his shoes were green.
Yes,
whatever.
it was because it was St. Patrick's Day.
It depends
on
on
starting pinched that.
It depends on the type of writing you like. You know, sometimes,
He's saying in order to tell a good story,
like Marcel Proust, Remembrance of Things Past. It was important to know every single detail.
If you can bring up something pretentious, Nikki,
Robert McKee, or
Robert McKee is the most he's just he's a guy.
Marcel Proust, I would argue, is more famous than Robert McKee.
It's not about fame; it's about accessibility. Proust is notably an impossible read and all that kind of stuff.
It's like over 1,000 pages.
And Robert McKee is a guy who's taught tens of thousands of people how to write Hollywood scripts,
more like
to varying
Transformer scripts and
anyway,
Avengers or I'm just joking. God, okay, make a joke for once.
No,
if it was good.
Listen, hey boys. So
bring it back in moderate.
Sorry. So Nikki was saying, go ahead.
But if I were to go back to my original point. Yes, I think dreams are worth talking about, as Nikon pointed out, if you just cut out the fluff. You get to the essentials, the interesting parts. You might have something worthwhile, not only telling, but something worthwhile that people will want to listen to.
So that's from a story. That's from a storytelling standpoint.
Yes.
What about? There are traditions. There are native. I think Native Americans are big on dreams. A lot of ancient traditions.
As Bryce Shaw said, MLK had a dream worth talking about.
Well, there you go.
So, but
sure,
that's obviously a different kind of dream.
Yeah. So, I'm talking about people who find dreams to be valuable to talk about, and taking a completely opposite tack. Not about storytelling, not about the merits of how interesting it is from a narrative standpoint, but
psychologically.
Is it worth blurting out every inane detail that you can remember from your dream with a friend or whatever, with the aim of collectively identifying some themes, or maybe a meaning, or maybe some kind of message from your subconscious, unconscious, whatever the freaking term is for that? But is that worthwhile?
So in a way, it is therapeutic, is what you're saying.
Well,
therapeutic, or just a way of exploring an idea, a concept, in a way that isn't directly related to, reality as we know it. Yes.
Okay. So, yes, that's dream analysis. They use that in psychology. Therapists do use that often, actually.
Sure. Yeah.
Particularly Freudians, I think, and Jungians, I think. But as we were talking about before, when you're describing your whole dream, that you're trying to retell your whole dream to somebody. This was the other argument that you had brought up before. I just want to come back to Nikon, is that dreams are weird and they go for everybody. They're often weird. So when you're trying to describe, oh, this weird thing happened to me, when this happened, it's like, yes, dreams are weird. They always happen. It's much more interesting to tell something that happened in real life or that's something you created because that has some.
But maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's not more interesting. Maybe it's just as arbitrary. It's like it's just an arbitrary topic to talk about. What if, I don't know, what if you had like a very eccentric friend who just blurted random thoughts?
Then that's not interesting. If that person did that all the time, then it wouldn't be interesting. In the same way that dreams are always interesting, so it's not that interesting to retell them all the time.
Well,
but if you had a friend that wasn't eccentric, who was pretty tame and normal,
you just said wouldn't be worth telling all the time, but you have to take a hard stance, Max. It's either all we we're talking about or not talking about.
In defense of him softening his stance, part of the beauty of what we do here is we start
hard,
every corner,
soft,
and find that the middle ground is often
a plastic phallus.
The plastic phallus that we're all looking for. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. But anyway, in the same way, if you have a pretty reserved, pretty average friend that out of the blue said something one day really eccentric and weird, that is worth telling because it's out of the ordinary. Whereas dreams are always surreal and weird. So when you're telling them to somebody, it's like, it's not that big of a deal. It's just another one in a sea of,
but okay, there are times where it's not only important to tell people about your dreams, but it can make you money. For example,
all of Nikki's arguments have like a very specific like what if you're trying to get laid? Or like what if you're trying to make money?
Paul, you took it down to the basic level. Talk about finding love. But
I'm obviously
romance.
I'm
Paul McCartney famously dreamt the song Yesterday, and he told people about it because he thought, I must have heard this somewhere before. Is this a song? And in talking to other people about it, he realized he came up with it in his dream. And
that's pretty
cool. Guess what? For the longest time, it was the most played song on the radio.
I mean, it's a beautiful song.
It's the most covered song.
And is that right?
Eventually, You've Lost That Love and Feeling took over.
Really?
The amount of radio. You say that like it's a bad song.
I mean, I may, you know what? I don't think it's a bad song, but I think that that the movie about the fighter pilots has cheapened its
movie about the fighter pilot.
You couldn't say Top Gun?
No, I forgot the name.
Okay.
The name that
I didn't even know what you were talking about.
The movie
I did because it's famously in that movie.
No,
I know, but I just forget.
No, to me, it doesn't cheapen it because I don't think of that movie really when I think of that song. But actually, you know what replaced it? And now is the current number one most played song ever on the radio. Every Breath You Take.
Man, he's trying to guess.
Was it Every Breath You Take? Really?
I didn't know he was trying to guess.
That's surprising.
I wonder if some of that has to do with Puff Daddy at all.
Well, we're talking covered, not.
No,
sample,
I guess,
right?
But we're not talking cover. We're talking original, I guess. But
we're talking original. Wait, what are we saying?
We're talking the Police.
Yeah. You're saying covered though, not sampled. You're saying covered.
I'm talking about most played on the radio.
Oh, most played on the. Wait, why did I think? Wait, somebody said at some point.
Max had mentioned.
No, I had said
covered.
Also, in addition to it having been the most played on the radio, it also
Yesterday
is the most
was also
covered
the
song
most
of all
covered.
time.
Gotcha. Okay, that was the confusion.
You know who does a great cover
Right.
of Yesterday is Boyz II Men.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All harmonized.
It's on the album too. The one with
Nice.
"I'll Make Love to You" on it.
Oh wow, it's a classic. Anyway,
End of the
where
Road.
were we?
By the way.
That was the last song at every high school or middle school and high school dance for me.
Oh, End of the Road.
Yeah,
It's really good.
We've come. It's a good album.
The
Especially-
harmonies are so
It's
sweet.
acapella at the end. It's so good.
Beautiful. Ooh, yeah.
Almost as good
No,
as the acapella version of the Folgers song.
Yes.
which is almost as good as the acapella version of the Growing Pains theme song,
Ooh,
which they played in like
really?
season 5 or something.
Do, 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 do. Is that how they
Show me that smile again. Show me that smile. Don't waste another minute on your crying.
But the acapella version is like,
I gotta look that
show
up.
me that smile now. Show me. Wait, you have to imagine harmonies. It's
Yeah.
really good. I love
All right.
it.
I'm throwing that on right after this. Okay, back. What were we talking about? Top
Dreams.
Gun. Dreams.
Top Gun. You had a dream about Top Gun. You had
So,
a dream
okay,
about
so you're
fighter.
saying
You had a dream
Paul
about fighter
McCartney-
pilots.
But Paul McCartney.
He
Okay,
needed to
that's
talk
that's
about the
interesting.
dream. He
Sure.
needed to talk about the dream in order to get to the place to realize
Sure.
this was an original that he dreamt.
In another defense
Right.
of this, Nikki, Paul McCartney also did dream when the Beatles were kind of falling apart during the Let It Be recordings.
This, yeah.
Oh, were you about to say?
Go ahead.
He was gonna.
Yeah.
His mom appeared to him in a dream, saying, "Just let it be, just let it be,"
It's beautiful.
and he wrote a beautiful song about that.
And her name was Mary, right? Is that
It was
correct?
Mary.
Yeah, there you go. So that's another dimension worth talking about. Do we think that
Another
is-
dimension.
it
Other
is
dimensions
some-
in dreams. How about
is
that?
Is it? I have no science to base this on, but like I feel as though there is something about our dreaming life that is just scratching the surface about like existence in general that we have no way of really understanding.
There's no way of knowing which way
Um,
we are going.
Willy
Walk on the
Wonka.
Chocolate
Yeah,
Factory,
yeah.
anybody?
It's good.
It's a really great scene.
It really is. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, that's an interesting
there's
thought,
something-
Nikon.
Well, even more in support of talking about dream, or the benefits of talking about dreams is, and I'll bring it up again and touch it up on it a little earlier, is it can be beneficial to talk about dreams to get at the root of stress or insomnia or or depression or any problems you're having. And in fact, and I'm as Max said, Jungian or Freudians would think it's important to decipher what dreams are about. I mean, I don't think it's absolutely necessary, but it is something to talk about, because if you're having a consistent type of dream, then there is something.
There's that, yeah.
There's that. There, like for example, there's the dream that I've had, especially at very stressful times in my life, where
You're naked
no,
and everyone
Yeah.
else is naked.
You're all having a great time.
Just kidding. This is a new bit
It's a
that
new
we
bit
came
we're
up
working
with,
on.
actually.
No, the dream where you're in school still and you have a class that you keep missing and you haven't done the work for and you just keep missing it, and it's really stressful. And I've had stress dreams like that where I'm in a high school. I'm in a musical in high school and I have not memorized any of my lines and I'm about to go on stage. This is a recurring dream recently that I've had.
That's so
And-
interesting.
And
Me too.
And it's nerve wracking. And
I can't imagine. That's interesting. What is because the fact that you're even bringing that up is interesting to me, because I can't imagine like being in a dream tonight and being at all concerned about anything relating to school. Like it's so far removed from my life that it would feel like jumping into a different person's life at this point, because it's so I haven't been concerned with school in so long.
Neither
you know what's
have I.
cool, Nikon, that what
That's
you
so
just said,
interesting. Yeah.
it's almost like jumping in another person's life.
Yeah.
You know, our dad a few years ago for Christmas, he made these. He transferred video of us being born
Cool.
to DVD, and he gave that to us. And there's footage of us from when we were 1 and 2 and 3 years old, and you look at this footage, or we looked at the footage and just think, this person doesn't exist anymore as they were,
Sure, yeah.
And it kind of makes you tear up actually a little bit.
Well, that's a whole wow, we could really get into the nature of whether you're the same person that you were. Well, that's a whole different thing.
Oh, that's a great topic, Nikon.
But is that
that
kind of is a good topic.
No, the topic is, are you the same person? Are you the same kind of person you are?
I'll write it down. I'll write it down for a okay, but back to because Max said something that I wanted to react to. What was the last thing you said a while ago?
Sure, it wasn't that important.
Believe me, it wasn't that important, but it sparked a thought. No, I'm kidding.
Is it about, people describing their dreams in full is just adding to the sea of other people describing dreams, and therefore it's not that special? Is that
you know what? No, no. But okay. So it sparked an anecdote that I still. This is something that makes me truly believe that I've always thought that there's like more to existence than whatever meets the eye and all that kind of stuff. But this taps into what I was kind of alluding to in terms of, let's just call it like the non-waking existence that we all are a part of, whether we are conscious of it or not. That's all very vague and obscure, but I had a dream several years ago. It was me, my buddy Jason, and his cousin Mike, who I'm not close with, but like I've hung out with, whatever. I'm not close with the guy. But the three of us were at a bar. Okay, I haven't seen this guy Mike in like 2 years. Jason I talk to frequently, but whatever. The three of us are at a bar, and Mike is telling Jason and I that he is getting
Jason and me
that he's getting. You were just waiting for that. He tells us that we are getting he said he tells the two of us that he's getting divorced. Okay,
that's
the whole dream. That's all I remember from the dream.
Oh, it's a dream. Okay,
it's a dream. The next day, Jason just happens to call me. That's nothing crazy. He calls me every once in a while, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, I just remembered. I had a dream last night that me, you, and your cousin Mike were at a bar." And he was telling us about how he's getting divorced. And he's like, that's insane. Mike was over last night and he told me he's getting divorced.
Oh my God.
It's portentous almost. It's like
insane in the membranous region.
And it's not like it's not like he told this. He was telling me his mic was over, and I told him. I was the affirmative teller of the information.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's so crazy.
So, and it's like two. I mean, that would be the wildest coincidence of all time for that to just be a coincidence.
Wow, that's amazing, and that's really going to be a good clip that we.
Wow, that's
and aren't you glad that I told Jason about my dream? That we
so you
talked
could tell
about
the story
my dream.
About it.
Yes. Well, so that
really,
we can have that. Imagine Max's dream world where nobody's talking about their dreams ever. I'm just not allowed to talk about my dreams, and
you would never have a dream world because you would never know what the dream world is, because you couldn't talk about it.
Well, okay, so his ideal world, I shouldn't have used that. So imagine Max's ideal world where nobody's talking about their dreams, and I just don't happen to tell Jason about the dream that I had that directly, I don't know, connected us in some weird cosmic way.
That is really
when Jason told you when he told you that news, were you like, oh my, how shocked were you?
I was I was beyond shocked.
And Jason must have been.
Yeah, we were both just like, I mean, I can't describe how he was feeling, but like my eyes welled up, and I was definitely like, I had a buzz going through my whole body.
Shaking
like,
a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it was.
Wow,
it was
man,
inexplicable.
That's really
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
interesting.
I want that to happen for me, but with good news.
Right.
With Nikki finding the love of his life. Or something.
Yeah.
Or as Cammy
We're making
said,
a lot of money.
as Cammy said, if you're trying to get laid, just ask, because Nikon had said, "Oh, the benefit of hearing about somebody's dream is so you can get laid." But I was saying, to find romance. But
yes, of course.
Also, if you're trying to get laid, you just ask. I don't know if that's going to work with everybody.
Miss. Would you like to go to bed with me?
Yeah. Not if you talk like
work.
that.
It'll work on somebody.
Excuse me, miss. Would you like to go to bed with me?
Like to go to bed. Anyway, any other strong arguments one way or the other? I think.
Nah, I mean, look.
I mean, I think the
middle ground wins.
Compromise is
yeah.
Keep it short. Talk about not every single weird thing that happened, but maybe the most significant point.
Here are the three scenarios. Here are the three scenarios I can identify in which it's worth
the
talking about your dreams.
Triangle of dreams.
Scenario one: if you think there's a novel story to be told, and if you are following that scenario, you must stick to the storytelling principles, right? No superfluous information. There better be a narrative arc or some kind of moral to it, whatever. That's scenario one. Scenario two is, hey, I had this wild dream. I want to see if the two of us or the group of us can pull some themes from it and make sense of it all, because it was baffling and I can't, Scenario three is just the pure, like, there was something interesting that happened that's so kooky that it's just worth just throwing out into the world and seeing if there's a reaction to it.
Getting a laugh out of it, maybe.
Sure, yeah. Like,
Sky was great. I mean, I would extend that to being anything, not just laugh, but anything that of artistic merit came out of it.
Sure,
Music, for example.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. So,
also, by the way, if you are speaking to a therapist, sometimes they will have you tell everything about the dream, because sometimes to them, even small things matter, actually.
Yeah, but how much of that is just them eating up time?
That could be true too.
Right.
And also,
true too. I'd rather talk about real life problems.
You are your own best interpreter of your own dream, is what they say, actually.
Do they say that? Because
a therapist worth their weight in salt actually would tell you that, actually.
But you still have to do the work. But that's assuming that you're willing to sit down and like really sit with your dream and interpret.
Yeah.
And the value of seeing a therapist is like you're paying for that time to actually sit there and do the thing, because otherwise you're not going to do it on your own time.
No, of course. I'm not saying it's a waste to go to a therapist. I'm saying I'm saying ultimately they would tell you, like, if they gave you their interpretation, they should say, but ultimately, does that make sense for you? Is this what's going? You're the best person to make that judgment.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're being honest, if you're being true to thine own self.
There you go.
Bringing it back.
And I think that's a good way to end it, right?
I think so. I think as often happens, the middle ground wins, which means we all win.
And for the record, I didn't truly believe in a hard stance from the start. I just it was for the sake of argument having to do this. As per usual, I don't think usually none of us are hard stance on any of these topics, I think.
Wait, hold on. I've got a great way to end it.
What? That was a good way to end it already. A Hamlet quote that's come back in full circle right here.
This better be a voice.
We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Okay.
Boom.
You guys, if you enjoyed what you heard and saw today, make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/splittinghairs. No, they could just do @splittinghairs.
I like they added the youtube.com.
@splitting hairs podcast. Obviously, as usual, make sure to rate and review us on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on.
It's Splitting
and
Hairs.
Follow us.
Yeah.
And thank you all for tuning in to another edition of Splitting Hairs with Max, Nikki, and Nikon.
Please keep tuning in. Okay, going to end the broadcast.
Oh, but I do want to just see some of these comments real quick here.
Should I keep recording?